Froggy 99.9 plays the most country, and we are getting ready for the Fargo Comedy Festival, which is coming up. As a matter of fact, it is like right around the corner, and it's really cool because this thing has been developing over the last few years to be a destination for a lot of amazing comedians. We got Maria Bamford coming this year, as well as this gentleman that I've got on the line who, by the way, dominates my FYP. Thank you, algorithm gods on TikTok. It's Mr. Drew Lynch. Drew, how are you?
Hi guys, I hope my voice sounds like someone who dominates FYP.
I think I just got lucky somehow that I get a lot of crowd work comedian stuff on my FYP. Yeah. So I'm a big fan of that.
Sure, man. You're somebody who you like stakes to be high in your stand-up clips. Material's not for you anymore, buddy. If you want a beer bottle aimed at the stage.
Well, I mean, I like it when it's all improv, basically, all the riffs and all the roasts, you know? I mean, who cares if they came and paid you to be there? You get to pick on them every once in a while when they catch your attention.
Yeah, it does feel nice to just, wield my frustrations on a group of people who paid to see me. Will never understand. I'll never understand why they walk out happy. But, yeah, man, it's actually pretty crazy how, that's become such a big part of stand-up comedy's sort of layout now. Its infrastructure is to really, have a lot of in the moment sort of off the cuff interactions that happen. And it's cool to see certain comedians be able to, work within that algorithm and thrive because of it.
Absolutely. I honestly think that I love some of your stuff the most because, you are Midwest. You're from Indiana originally where you were born. But so there's that Midwest nice that's still kind of inside of you, even when you're roasting somebody.
Yeah, I can't go full. I can't go full meat. Like some of these guys are they are irreverent, man. They'll come like shit. I love Schultz, but Schultz he can go in on people, and I'm just like, oh man, I could. Once they wait by the stage door after the show and see exactly how petite I am, they'll be like, oh, we can't beat this guy up. That's not even right. You know what I mean? But yeah, I am very Midwest, so I do feel like, there is some inherent passive aggression that's just baked in, and that is how you talk to people from the Midwest. You let them know how you feel, and you give it to them in the worst possible way, and then you tell them that you'll see them at the bake sale. That's pretty much how it goes.
Absolutely, yeah. On the line with Drew Lynch here on Froggy 99.9. He is out on the Short King Tour, bringing it to the Fargo Comedy Festival at the Fargo Theater on Saturday, February 17th. Tickets available at drewlynch.com. And I was just recently running through your TikTok page and checking out all the things that you've been posting lately. You do an annual polar plunge. Is that a thing, or did you just start doing that?
Oh, my God. Yeah, I guess. Now that you said it was annual, now I guess I have to do it. So thanks.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So my wife and I, we end up up in Vermont for right around the holidays, and we end up taking that time off. But going into the new year, I guess we kind of launched it last year. It's just like, all right, we're coming back on tour, and so I did something silly just to be like, all right, like let's just see where we're at. Let's kind of gauge the climate on where we are with who's got tickets, coming to this next purchase for this next tour.
Absolutely.
So I ended up saying just send me some screenshots. If we get 500, I'll go in this stupid freezing lake. And the day that I went last year, it was 0 degrees exactly. It was like zero. Like I woke up. I woke up that day and I thought there was a power outage, and it was like a clock, like when it just blinks 0, like that's what I thought had happened. And I was like, oh, it's probably not 0 degrees. Like I'm not gonna die today. And so it's so cold. It's actually like, I jumped in last year and it was so cold. And then this year thankfully it was warmer, but the circumstances somehow were not better because we upped the stakes by saying, all right, if we get 1,000 screenshots this time, there's no way we'll be able to do 1,000 screenshots. So if we got 1,000 screenshots of people who bought tickets, I'll sweeten the pot, and my wife can dress me up however she wants, which was a mistake. It was a mistake to say that. It's a mistake to let your wife to do something like that to you. To even as soon as I said the words, I was like, "What am I doing?" Of course. I was like, "She's gonna go door to door and get people to buy tickets. She'll Girl Scout it to get this done." And so she dressed me up in her clothes, and it would work. It doesn't. It's never good. It would help if we weren't the same size, if we weren't just around the same. I'm like a slightly bustier version of my wife. And she dressed me up and put makeup on my face and put me in heels. And then I jumped in like some floozy in New Orleans. I just was like, woohoo, Fat Tuesdays. And I jumped in. And then I proceeded to run through the woods to the warm car in heels.
Yeah, that was awful impressive seeing you run in uphill in heels.
Yeah, that was the thing. Is I think a lot of people were commenting about how is he able to, he's certainly been in heel, he has to be in heels every day to be able to run in heels. Yeah, and they're absolutely right.
Grows,
God, I love heels. Yeah, God, I love heels. Just being around my house and going in heels. I'm a pretty princess. So but I'll tell you what, this is what it is when your shoe freezes to your ankle, you're going to be able to frickin' run in them, I would say.
Yeah.
So, so it was, I actually saw the video back, and I was like, I am pretty impressed that I ran in, it wasn't like a jog, like I ran in heels. Survival is a fickle thing.
Also having the presence of mind at 25 feet away too, so far away from your wife, you're still like, Merry Christmas.
yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot you put me in a Santa hat.
Drew Lynch on the line. Oh, sir, we could just riff about some of the stuff that you've posted, but obviously you've got some specials out there as well, too. Out there for the Short King Tour right now. By the way, I do want to congratulate you on getting over such an impediment in your life, such an impairment that you've worked through over the 10-plus years of your career now to get to where you are.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I appreciate that. For anybody who doesn't know, I had a softball injury when I was 20 years old, and from it I had a concussion that messed with motor skills and certain cognitive skills, but mostly just my speech and motor skills on the left side of my body. And a lot of it's not all. I try not to share every bit of every single thing that it is that I have tried to do to try and rehab all the situation, because it can really be a downer to hear, oh man, I'm still trying to just get back to a healed version of myself. And it's just been wild. I still go to speech therapy every so often. Because for 10 plus years, I had a really bad stutter, and I don't know if it's a bad stutter, a good stutter, or a bad stutter. I don't know, because when I stutter for a while, people are like, "That was a good one." So I'm really conflicted on if it's good or bad. But I go to speech therapy every so often, and I don't know why. I have no idea why I go. I go to just brush up on things, and most people who are in speech are kids. So I am the oldest client by a lot. I sit sometimes in the lobby with the parents, and they're like, "Oh, who's your son?" Or and I'm like, "No, it's me." And then they come in, they call my name, and I'm like, "All right, I'll see you." And they're like, "What?" So I go in, and the waiting room is because every client is a kid. The waiting room is decorated for kids, and so it's a humiliating place to wait. They have they have like they have there's like a bubble machine, and they have like a coloring books and little puzzles, and there's a slide and a ball pit. I've done it all.
The bead and wire game too. I'm sure there's that.
Yep. Yeah, I've done all those things, because when your name's not called, you're like, all right, like, yeah, exactly. It's exactly like that. So it's one of those. It's been a journey that's been it's not been a pretty journey, I guess, to say the least. And over the years, I've seen nutritionists, neurologists, physical therapists, speech pathologists. I've taken a holistic approach and just trying to rehab all of this, because I never wanted it to be that I was reduced to this issue that I had. I always wanted it to be about the things that I was saying, and certainly not the way that I was saying them. So
the really terrible thing is I was going to make a joke about you being only 5'4" was the impairment that you had, but
that's actually really funny. Well, then I'm glad that I talked for as long as I could, so your joke got strung out. I'm glad it was dry by the time it got back to you.
Yeah, my punchline was ruined. Thanks, professional comedian, for ruining that.
I almost knew it. I was like, he's gonna set me up right here. I'm just gonna talk. I was like, I'm just gonna filibuster until we're off the air.
You're like, he's sitting there silently for way too long. He definitely had a different way to end this. Well, too bad.
Yeah, he definitely did. I know. And enough time had passed that if you were like, I was talking about how short you were, it would have just been so silent, and everybody would be like, man, that guy's a real piece of work.
Yeah. This is the one time explaining the punchline actually kind of makes it funny, but not really. So anyway.
It really does, though.
Yeah.
It really does. I feel closer because of it.
Okay, good. Drew, you are coming to the Fargo Comedy Festival. Again, it's at the Fargo Theater, Saturday, February 17th. Tickets available at drewlynch.com. It's going to be, to be honest, we've had a mild winter here in Fargo.
Oh, good. Well, by that time, I'm sure it'll be worse.
We're sitting in the mid-30s right now, to be honest.
Holy, that's not even plunge weather.
Exactly.
Oh my God. I'll be streaking in Fargo.
We can't ice fish. They've canceled some ice fishing derbies, so that's been a problem.
Oh
It's
oh my God, there must be riots in the streets if you can't ice fish in Fargo.
So it might not be too terrible when you're here in mid-February.
Oh, I'm sure. It'll be terrible. The fact that it's good right now, I wanted you to tell me, this is record-breaking awfulness. And then by the time I got there, I'd be like, well, that's, it's, the worst is past. Well, but of course, I'm gonna bring it.
When the whole country was under that polar plunge, we did hit 30 below, but
yeah,
we are used to that. Yeah. You're in Vegas now. You're going to be kind of SOL by now.
Well, I live in LA, but I lived in Vegas for,
gotcha.
for whatever, 9 or 10 years or whatever. But yeah, it has thinned out my skin quite a bit, just being like, oh my God, it's the upper 60s. Do I need a fleece?
Do I need a jacket? Oh my God.
Yeah. Should I bring my fur scarf?
I walked out of the house in a hoodie today. That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a hoodie, no bottoms.
Nope. Oh, yeah.
Include it.
Oh, that's why everybody was looking at me. Oh, right. So,
yeah.
So anyway, you are coming, and again, we are really looking forward to it. Fargo Comedy Festival. What was one of the things that when, we approached you, it was like, this is kind of an up-and-coming, very well-established festival. So was it kind of something where you're like, yeah, absolutely, I'd do that?
Absolutely. And I mean this genuinely. I've been to the Midwest so many times over the years, and they're always just the best crowds. I mean, people are genuine. I always stay after every show to say hi to everybody because it matters. It matters. It matters to be able to meet people and tell them thank you, see them and look them in the eyes and be like, hey, however far you drove and however cold it is here, I'm with you right now. Don't look at me. Just stay with me. So I think that's important, and I think the fact that there are comedy festivals popping up and these communities that have every intention of trying to curate their own sort of audience that is geared towards comedy is amazing. We're in a comedy boom, and everybody should be able to experience that. And where years ago, like a place like Fargo or different parts of whatever, Minneapolis, North Dakota, like things, that wasn't possible. So
right.
I love that sense of community for something that is really important.
Absolutely. Well, Drew, again, looking forward to it. It's literally right around the corner. The Fargo Comedy Festival at the Fargo Theater. You're going to be there Saturday, February 17th, and tickets available at your website, drewlynch.com. Thank you so much for taking some time to hang out with us.
Yeah, buddy. Thank you so much.
There you go. It is the Drew Lynch on every social media platform you can think of, and make sure that you get your tickets at drewlynch.com for the Fargo Comedy Festival.